morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Liz Nielsen with Waldorf Essentials, just in case you forgot. And I want to welcome you to our Monday video. Today our topic is save guilt for sin, which is kind of a weird topic not weird. I think you'll understand as I talk about it more. But first, let's do our announcements. Let's get our announcements out of the way first. So today is the first day of the last week that you can sign up for Thinking, Feeling, Willing in 2018. And I had a friend, a local friend, say to me, Melissa, why are you doing that? Like what? Like she was genuinely asking, and so it made me think. Okay, there's probably other people that have that question too. Like what's up with that? Like what's the lowdown? And really and truly, the biggest reason that I'm doing that we're sort of closing the cart, and we'll be closing it regularly from here on in, is so that I can spend the time to work with our new people. I love to, when people come on to Thinking, Feeling, Willing, I tend to spend a lot of time especially the first couple of weeks, really sort of getting them comfortable and helping them with where they are and getting them sort of set up and going, and just sort of making them feel good and comfortable about this path, like what to choose first, what lessons to start with. And in doing that process and knowing that I do that process regularly with people that come on, I started thinking, wouldn't it be great to have a class that's doing it, and have everybody doing it and everybody together in that class. So like this is the last class of 2018, and I'm really excited for them. The moms that have joined us so far, I'm just super excited. We will have a nice sized class, which will mean, what does that sort of mean? It means that it's small enough that it's just us, and it's also small enough that you will be able to get the one-on-one attention from me that you need when we have our group coaching calls. And it will allow me to really be able to dive in deep and get you going in a manner that is really conducive to learning and helping you be a student of this not just this method, but sort of this way of thinking. I think that we think a little bit differently than other people that are in the Waldorf curriculum creating world. and our Thinking, Feeling, Willing program is for sure very different than anything that looks the same on the outside. Very different. We tackle a lot of things that other people don't talk about, and we really work to help you not just become a great Waldorf homeschool teacher, but to become like the essence of the mom that you want to be, because that's really what this journey is about like helping you be the mom that you really want to be. So that's why that's like the biggest reason why we're going to have cart closes on a regular basis. So we will be, or not on a regular basis, but every time that we launch it, it will be open for a week and then it will be closed. And right now, this is the last week that it's open. So if you've not hopped on, now is a great time, because we'll be changing some things in 2019. There'll be some changes. It's still going to be an amazing program, but there will be some changes for sure. And so this is really the time. So if you haven't hopped on, now's the time. If you have questions, please drop me a DM. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, feel free to drop us a message in Messenger and ask your questions. We are really excited with this direction and sort of what we're doing. And it doesn't mean anything for current members. It just means that they're going to get more of me, and in a more concentrated way to sort of help them really boost their journey with this. And so that's that. Were there any other announcements, Daddy? I was trying to remember. I guess our Cyber Monday deal promotion for that program ends today. It ends at the end of today. And everybody needs to say a prayer for Kelly, my sister. She is very sick. And so Eric is my wingman this morning. And he's going to drop the link for the Cyber Monday, Cyber Small Business Weekend, whatever they're calling it, the weekend promotion into the comments on Facebook. And friends over at Instagram, I'll just tell you guys what it is. It's waldorfessentials.com/weekend. And that will have all of the information and details on our promotion that ends tonight for the program. And then the rest of the week, it's just going to be the program, which is still a very good deal. So the Cyber Weekend, Small Business Weekend, whatever thing, is it's a lot of fun. So a lot of people are always asking me, what books do you read? Like, what are your favorites? So we have 3 different bundles that that we have set up that you can choose from, and we'll just send those to you, to everybody that signs up today. And they're fun bundles. So there's a bundle that is like Rhythms of Learning, and my favorite, the Carl Stockmeyer Rudolph Steiner Schools book, and Healing Stories for Challenging Behavior. That's one bundle. There's another bundle that is all the Winstone Press books. And then there's another bundle that is sort of some more art books and poetry. So there's the Waldorf Book of Poetry, a really awesome form drawing for adults coloring book that I use. I take it every week to church. Soraya has her bag full of stuff. I have my bag with my colored pencils, and I just sit. It's so meditative. It's so meditative. I've been saying that for years, though. Form drawing is incredibly meditative. And then let's see what other book is there. Oh, Painting and Drawing in Waldorf Schools is in that bundle as well. So if you're interested in like some little more extra excitement, then definitely today is the day. Today is the day to partake. And so like I said, waldorfessentials.com/weekend is the link for that. Okay, the other announcement is, if you did not join us for our Know Thyself training that we did last Wednesday, I would hop onto YouTube, or we have it on our YouTube channel, or you can catch the replay in the Ask Melissa and Eric group. And we have another video or another training that will be this Wednesday, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific time, in the same group. So Eric will also be dropping the link to the group for our friends at Facebook. And I'll be in the YouTube notes as well later for the replay. And friends over at Instagram, it is, if you just go to Facebook, and which I know people are like, really? Can you do it someplace else? Listen, we tried Mighty Networks. It wasn't as mighty as we wanted it to be. It does not give us what we need it to for groups wise. But there is a great trick. You can put all the groups on your home screen, and then you don't have to scroll the feed, which is what I do. That's how I stay out of the feed. I only go to the feed if I need something very specific, but you can put all of those groups on your home screen. It doesn't matter if you've got an Android phone or an iPhone, you can do both. It's very easy to do that. And so anyways, the group is Ask Melissa and Eric, and the training is this Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, and the training is on homeschooling with Waldorf without burnout, like how to avoid burnout, how to really, and that's a topic I know we've talked about before. We're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to take the training from last week, the Know Thyself training. We're going to go a little bit deeper with that, and sort of helping you to then, once you know yourself, then how do you really dive into these concepts? And that is part of a 5-part series that we are doing for our Thinking, Feeling, Willing members. So the public gets the first 2 for free, and the other 3 are within our Thinking, Feeling, Willing program, and they'll be scheduled out over the next couple of weeks. So if that kind of exciting regular training is something that interests you, then hop on over. Thinking, Feeling, Willing. Okay, I think, is that all the announcements? Can you think of anything that I missed?
I think that's all.
My Boss Lady mug has a great spot here on the shelf. Okay, so save guilt for sin, our topic today. So when I sent out the email, to remind everybody about it, the topic, I used some thoughts that that I think happen to us on a regular basis. Like we sort of get this, oh no, I've ruined them. Oh no, it's gonna be horrible. Oh no, they're gonna be in therapy. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And we started sort of get down this like road of overthinking. Overthinking is just creating problems that don't exist. Thank you, James Wedmore, for teaching me that little quote. And I'm going to say it again. Overthinking is creating problems that don't exist. So when you catch yourself overthinking, first you have to go, oh, I'm doing it. And there are certain temperaments that do it more than others. There are certain points in our life that we do it more than others. I think that mothers tend to overthink a lot. I think especially when it comes to sort of walking this Waldorf path, because we have a different view of development, then we are often sort of worried constantly. And I will say that Steiner's words sometimes have you going, okay, well, I'm screwed anyway. And so I want you to know that you're not. I truly, truly believe that intent is everything. And so when I sort of talk about this concept of saving guilt for sin, this idea of, it like conjures up all this crazy religious stuff, but this idea of sinful activity, well, when you think about that, like, what do you think about? You don't think about like, oh, I yelled. You don't think about, oh my gosh, I'm ruining my children. That's like sinful activity is definitely like intent to do something wrong. And as mothers, I cannot imagine that when it comes to our children, we ever have intent to do anything wrong. And I love that saying, save guilt for sin. I have a dear friend. She sometimes watches us on Instagram. So Miss Chris, if you're watching us this morning, I love you. When I was going through my divorce a lot of years ago, I guess it's been almost 15 years ago that I was on that path. And somebody had said something to me, even though I knew I was making the right choice. I knew because I remember the day that I woke up and I was like, okay, I don't want my boys to think that that's how it's okay to treat women. And I remember it like smacked me in the face of like, this is not okay. This is not okay. It's not okay to treat people this way. I had to for them make an exit. Not an escape, because it wasn't that kind, but it was definitely an exit that needed to be made. And it was going to benefit them in the long run. And it absolutely has. There are things that I'm sad happened during that time period, but I do not regret making that choice. Of course, I would not have the life that I have now. I would not have the other two children I have now and the amazing husband that I have now. But it was all about making that choice to step out of that space of abuse and dysfunction, and it was a hard choice because I knew that it was going to be a high climb. And anybody who's going through that right now, you're probably going, it is much harder than I thought it was going to be. And there are definitely times that if you are in that space, that it is like you don't know how you're going to get through. I'm working with a couple of women right now that are really struggling. They're going through custody evaluations, and it's not a fun place to be. But this is not a talk on divorce either. This is really, I use that example because I just remember stepping back and going, oh, I feel so guilty for what they're going through. And I remember my dear friend Chris, grabbing me by the shoulders and shaking me and saying, Melissa, save guilt for sin. This is not sinful activity. You should not feel guilty about this. You have to be able to walk forward. Your children need you. So I'm going to tell you, Mom, whatever it is that you're going through right now, where you are feeling guilty, stop. Your children need you to be strong. They need you to be strong. And so you have to stop feeling guilty about something that happened yesterday. And I'm not saying don't make amends, for sure. I mean, I think one of the most humbling things as a mother is when I can go to my children and say, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? Of course I forgive you. but then you have to like work to change a habit, right? So if it's a habit that you are flipping your lid and losing it on a regular basis, then you got to figure out why. And that goes back to knowing who you are and what you do and why you do it. But when it comes to just sort of everyday things and you're racking yourself with guilt and overthinking, you have to stop. That does not get you anywhere. It does not get you anywhere with regards to where, you say you want to go. And I listen to moms all the time say, oh, well, this is what I want to do. I want this education for my children. And I want this, I want this lifestyle, and I have this dream in my head. And I gotta tell you, sisters, it is much harder to lose a dream than it is reality. That is another great quote from my dear friend Chris. She's so wise. I remember the day she said that to me, and I was like, whoa, that smacked me in the face. But really, it's not this dreamy place. This Waldorf homeschooling gig and parenting in general, it's not a dreamy place. It is here, grounded, and some days it's really messy. And some days you are off your game, and some days kids just tantrum. Crap happens. So you have to stop feeling guilty about things, and you have to decide, well, I can be my own boss lady right now. That's why I use this mug so much. It doesn't have anything to do with me barking out orders. It's everything to do with, it's a reminder. See, it says it on both sides. It's a reminder to me that I get to be the boss of me. I get to decide how I act. I get to decide how I show up to people. I don't get to decide how people see me. That's their own garbage and their own baggage. But I get to sort of decide how I show up. It's so important that when you're making those decisions, that you're not coming from a place of, oh, I feel guilty all the time. Remember that when you save guilt for sin, you realize that you're going to stumble and you're going to mess up. And guess what? You can get back up. Your knees might be skinned, but you get right back up and you keep on walking. And that's really, sort of the pinnacle of understanding this method of education. And really the true heart of motherhood is that you stumble and you fall and you get back up and you keep walking, because that's what we want to teach our kids. That's what we want them to know. We want them to know that. And the next time you feel guilty or want to overthink or want to play a story in your head about not being good enough, I want you to shift it to your child. I want you to shift that thought pattern and say, Johnny isn't good enough. And then realize, oh, wait, if I think I'm not good enough and I shift it to them, that sounds horrid. So why would I do that? I am good enough. I am a good mom. I can make a decision right now to change what I'm doing. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Any thoughts over there?
Nope.
All right, you guys. It's a tough topic. I get a lot of people that send me a lot of emails about, I feel so guilty about this, I feel so guilty about that. I just want you to really examine that. That's like an energy you don't want to be in. It's such a low energy of sort of feeling guilty and feeling yucky. And it's so much better when you're like in this higher energy of, feeling really good about yourself and wanting to sort of move forward and loving life and just having a good time with your mothering and with your homeschooling, and really deciding that, hey, I've got this. I've got this. And even when you don't think so, listen, I said so. So, if I believe in you, and I believe in all of you. I have people that email me all the time and say, how can you believe in me? You don't know me. And I go, well, for one, you're emailing me. So you are humble enough to ask for help. So for those of you that are here that are playing the guilt game and the blame game to yourself, you're here. So you're humble enough to listen to somebody else's thoughts about it. So I want you to go and have a wonderful week, and join us next week. We have, like I said, some great training coming up on Wednesday. I'm super excited about it. It's called No Burnout, Homeschooling with Waldorf No Burnout, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. in the Ask Melissa and Eric group. Yes, it will be recorded. I know we don't hit every time zone for this. The other trainings, just for thinking, feeling, willing moms that are listening, the other trainings will be at varied times. So I just wanted to keep these two a little consistent so that it would be easy for those that aren't members to be able to hop on. So I think that's all. I hope that you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Monday.